In 2002, tech support crew and internet reviewers Bernie Burns, Geoff Ramsey, and Gustavo Sorola had a conversation while playing one of their favorite games, Halo Combat Evolved, about whether the Warthog vehicle looked more like a Puma than it did an actual Warthog. Seeing potential in a story, Burns created a trailer for a series on their then website Drunk Gamers, which went unnoticed 4 months before the site's inevitable closure. After being contacted by Computer Gaming World over a different Drunk Gamers video, Burns and Ramsey resurrected the trailer to coincide with that issue. On April 1st, 2003, that series debuted its first episode. Now sitting on 12 seasons, 5 miniseries, and its own game mode in the Halo series, among many, many other achievements, it has become one of the most popular, most well-received web series of all time. That series is Red vs. Blue.
Hey. Yeah? You ever wonder why we're here? It's one of life's great mysteries, isn't it? Why are we here? I mean, are we the product of some cosmic coincidence, or is there really a God watching everything? You know, with a plan for us and stuff? I don't know, man. But it keeps me up at night.
What? I mean, why are we out here, in this canyon?
Oh, yeah.
What all this stuff about God?
Nothing.
You want to talk about it?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's the opening lines of the entire series. A misplaced discussion on creationism and evolution rendered completely superfluous due to a miscommunication of the other guy's question. If there's a better analogy to describe Red vs. Blue, I'd be damned to find out what it is. Red vs. Blue is not the first machinima by any means, but I would fail to find another series that exploded in popularity the way this show did. Right from the beginning, it was clear this was something different, something the world up till this point had not seen before. It was immediately a success, so much so that after only the second episode, Bungie Studios themselves contacted the crew to tell them how much they liked it. It has created one of the biggest internet fan bases, and an incredibly accepting one at that, with the creators and the fans interacting with one another in an extremely positive manner. And I always feel kind of bad that I missed out on that, because even though I knew Red vs. Blue was a thing throughout high school, I didn't start watching it until the summer after my freshman year of college back in 2009. And sometimes I wonder what my life would have been like if I had been a part of that amazing community from the start. It's certainly one of the curses of having parents who are paranoid about the internet. You miss out on all the cool kids groups. Okay, so the plot isn't really anything special starting out. It's literally just two teams on opposite ends of a box canyon. One is red and one is blue, and they're fighting. That's it. The blue team consists of leader Leonard Chuch, voiced by head writer Bernie Burns, and his wingman Lavernius Tucker, voiced by Jason Saldana. Red team is led by the sergeant, simply known as Sarge, voiced by Matt Hullum, his second-in-command Dick Simmons, voiced by Gus Sorola, Dexter Grif, voiced by Geoff Ramsey, and Lopez the Heavy, their mechanic, who will eventually be voiced also by Burns. It's not entirely made clear to the audience why they're fighting, and even to the soldiers the specifics seem lost on them. It's implied that this was brought about due to the Master Chief destroying the Covenant, but that's the only direct Halo reference the series gives us, save for that the unit UNSC does in fact exist. It's pretty much directly implied that this and Halo have nothing to do with each other, save for these few references, so I'd say it's whatever floats your boat. And it's made clear that they don't really care about the specifics, or about much of anything. Blue Team is depicted as a bunch of lazy guys who don't really care about much of what's going on, and Red Team is pretty much exactly the same, only slightly less so because of their war-obsessed team leader and his ass-kicking subordinate. So really, it's a show about the laziest bastards in the universe being told to do things and then not doing them. Why exactly was this show popular again?
What are they doing?
What?
I said, what are they doing now?
God damn, I'm getting so sick of answering that question.
You have fucking rifle. I can't see shit. Don't bitch at me because I'm not going to just sit up here and play with my dick.
Oh, right, the dialogue. This is probably what sold a lot of people when they first watched. Witty, fast-paced dialogue, very reminiscent of Kevin Smith's movies, although not so much centered around drugs, sex, and social constructs as it is around, well, utter nonsense. But it's intelligent utter nonsense, if that makes any sense at all. Things really start kicking in when each side receives a new recruit. Red team gets Franklin Donut, voiced by Dan Godwin, and blue team gets Michael Caboose, voiced by Joel Heyman. As a prank, Grif and Simmons tell Donut to go to the store for headlight fluid and elbow grease, and Chuch tells Caboose to stay inside and guard the flag for the incoming general, but really it's so that he doesn't have to put up with him anymore.
My dad always said, why buy the cow when you can get the milk for free?
And I don't blame him. Unfortunately, Donut figured Blue Base is the store, and the only item for sale is the flag. Since these two are pretty much the spark that ignite everything that happens afterwards, I really have to wonder what life in Blood Gulch was like before they arrived here. You never really hear about any of that. You never hear about the kind of battles that were raged in Blood Gulch. You never hear about the different soldiers that were there, if there were any casualties on either side, if any were killed or wounded, save for Captain Flowers, who we'll get into later. I kind of always wanted there to be some kind of more of a backstory, the history of Blood Gulch before Caboose and Donut showed up. I doubt we'll ever get it, but it's something I do think about from time to time. Once the flag is captured, the race begins. The Reds try to get Donut in their Warthog, while the Blues go through their teleporter. Caboose gets into their newly arrived tank with its own talking training program codenamed Shiela, voiced by Yosemary Cruz. Unfortunately, Caboose is also dumber than a Fox News correspondent after Election Day, and after fumbling with the controls and destroying the Reds' Warthog in one of my more favorite exchanges from the series...
Son of a bitch! Son of a bitch!
Son of a bitch!
he ends up blowing Chuch to Kingdom Come.
Firing main cannon.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. What? Oh, son of a bitch.
Which was a pretty surprising thing to kill off a central character within the first 7 episodes. I mean, nowadays, killing a main character is no big deal. In fact, it's more or less considered a minor inconvenience. But remember, this was 2003, and a lot of writers weren't that brave yet. And it certainly left a lot of avenues open for future possibilities. Okay, so Chuch doesn't go away for good. He does come back as a ghost. But with their leader dead and the tank destroyed during an airstrike, things look bleak for the blue team. But a call to command results in the arrival of a freelancer mercenary named Tex, who just so happens to be Chuch's ex-girlfriend. Small universe, eh? Tex, voiced by Kathleen Zuelch, immediately makes a good first impression, and by good, I mean she immediately proves that she's the most competent and threatening figure in this canyon.
I'm scared.
We all are, Caboose. We all are. She then takes off to recapture the flag and defeat the Reds.
Hey, what's going on? What the fuck?
What? What is that thing?
What thing? There's something on your head. What? Is it a spider? Get it off!
No, it's not a spider. It's like a blue thing.
What? Like a blue spider? Get it off!
Apparently they've never seen sticky grenades before.
Son of a bitch!
Donut is wounded, and the other two are taken out long enough to retrieve the flag. Unfortunately for her, Sarge and Lopez arrive and hold her prisoner. Chuch returns and explains that Tex's strength comes mostly from an artificial intelligence program that was inserted into her helmet that made her both strong and filled with rage.
AI. What's the A stand for?
Artificial.
What's the
Intelligence.
Oh, what was the A again?
What is this, an Abbott and Costello routine? He also tells them of the time when he was assigned to the snow-based Sidewinder, where Tex showed up and killed off his entire team, ending it by beating his friend Private Jimmy to death with his own skull, which doesn't seem physically possible.
That's exactly what Jimmy kept screaming. This doesn't seem physically possible!
Well, at least we can all be in agreement on that.
Okay! We'll just stay here and guard the transporter.
Yeah, I really should mention right here that the audio quality in these early episodes really isn't that good. Camera is fine, if really basic, but the audio will make it hard to sit through on a first watch. They were trying to go for the helmet mic effect, which for the first 2 seasons or so was met with mixed results. When they talk normally it's fine, but when they yell it's... Yeah. Caboose is probably the biggest repeat offender because that's just how Joel is, I guess. It gets better about halfway through season 2. Anyway, Chuch comes up with a quick plan to bust her out that immediately gets shot to hell the minute Caboose picks up a sniper rifle. He possesses Sarge and explains to Tex what has happened to him, and oddly enough, she seems to take it all in stride.
Okay.
What? That's it? Okay? You're not surprised by any of this?
No, pretty much all makes sense.
Not even the whole church is a ghost thing? That didn't do anything for you?
I can see right through you. It's pretty obvious.
I mean, she doesn't even bat an eyelash at the fact that her boyfriend is now a spirit from beyond the grave. She does not give a fuck. But as they escape, Caboose, who doesn't know Church is possessing the Red Leader, shoots him in the head with a sniper rifle.
1, 2, 3. What the? Where did my body go?
But Grif and Simmons, distraught over the death of their leader, begins to perform CPR on him. And somehow, don't ask me how, it works. Sarge is revived and goes right on business as usual. And is never really reflected on, despite the fact that this is one of the biggest modern-day medical mysteries of the show. I mean, what happened to the bullet? Did it pass all the way through? Did it just disintegrate into nothing? Is it like the shrapnel in Tony Stark's chest? Is it slowly but surely making its way through to center mass? Is it still in his brain just sitting there like a fucking tumor? Did it just magically disappear? I mean, it just makes no sense. And it's never brought up or questioned again. I mean, they mention it a little bit in season 2, but for all intents and purposes, the bullet's just gone. Nothing. There's no explanation for it. It's a little thing, and I'm nitpicking, I know, but it just always bugged the hell out of me. And I don't want to hear any of you bring up that, oh hey, it's armor lock from way later in the series, because fuck you, okay? Anyway, after an unspecified amount of time passes, Donut returns, now wearing bright pink armor that will forever live on to scar him and anyone he's associated with for life. Church and Tex strike a deal that she'll stick around long enough to fix the tank and defeat the Reds, but Church is more concerned with getting the AI out of her head, and when he sees she's near accomplishing her goal, he heads off to warn the Reds by possessing one of their men again to talk to them. Unfortunately, the person he ends up possessing is Lopez. Now, I mentioned earlier who Lopez is, but I didn't really tell you what Lopez is. Lopez is actually a robot that Sarge created in order to both have a mechanic and have someone with which he could have intelligent conversations with, because, let's face it, between the kiss-ass and the guy he hates with a fiery passion of 1,000 suns, he'd probably have better luck conversing with Tucker's rock. But for whatever reason, while he bought everything to get Lopez working, he never bought a speech unit to actually allow him to talk. Which, considering that was part of the whole reason he built the damn thing, makes you wonder why that wasn't the first thing he bought. But a jolt of electricity brought on by an ungrounded installation results in...
Buenos días, y la agraciada por activar mi función del discurso.
Yeah. Lopez now speaks only Spanish, and will continue to speak only Spanish from now until the end of time. Oh, but he can understand English fine, he just can't speak it. So when Church possesses Lopez to warn them, he warns them in a language that none of them understand. And when Caboose radios in asking for a sitrep, you get the picture. Tex begins her assault on the Reds, pinning them down with cannon fire. Donut recognizes her as the one who wounded him and put him in the pink armor, and as a result throws what is probably the most impressive across-the-map grenade throw in recorded history, and hits Tex right in the face before exploding.
Hell yeah! 3 points, you dirty whore!
Church runs off, still in Lopez's body, as the Reds watch him. With her dying breath, Tex tells Church that the AI's left her, and just as she passes, Caboose starts to act a little weird.
I told you, my name isn't Caboose. My name is O'Malley.
Oh shit. That's the first season of Red vs. Blue right there. As you can see, it's nothing really spectacular right off the bat. There's no real overarching plot line until the very last episode, and that pretty much sums up Red vs. Blue's plot. Plot isn't a straight line in this show. It's more like this wandering, meandering thing that goes in all directions. Kind of like a David Lynch movie without all the tits, narcotics, and little people. The characters, even by the end of season 1, are not fully developed, and it isn't really until about halfway through the next season that they really start to become the people we know them as today. If there's anything that really kind of brings this production down, it's the technical stuff, the camera work, and especially the audio. But for a bunch of guys producing this out of their bedroom, I really can't fault them too much. After all, this is just the beginning, and there is still plenty more road ahead. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys for part 2.